Actually, a ton to talk about in this game, and I don't want to talk about any of it. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome in to the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. The Mariners lose 6-5 tonight to the Tampa Bay Rays. They fall to 73 and 66. I believe on the season, as always. You can like the video, subscribe if you're new or lurking, and don't forget to comment your thoughts on the team and the game down below. I do, as always, appreciate the support, even when the team is struggling. It does mean a lot. So thank you to everybody that still supports the channel. I really, from the bottom of my heart, I do appreciate every one of you. We can get on a lot of things in this game, right? Some of the bullpen decisions, Caleb Ferguson still being used in close games. Maybe you should have walked Junior Caminero. I know you had 2 strikes on him in that 7th inning to face Lowe. Dan's ejection, where it has to be the most polite ejection of all time, where I'd love to see just maybe a little more fire, a little bit more getting in the ump's face. We can talk about the ump, who was atrocious tonight. He was. Both sides. Luke Raley got a gift, ball 4 in the 9th inning. But you had arguably your best player, not even arguably, your best player in Cal Raleigh, up in 2 crucial situations. Strikes out, pops up. 2 chances to maybe save the season that is running down the toilet like explosive diarrhea. And he pops out and strikes out. One of them against a reliever that not been very good this year. Randy Arozarena had an opportunity that 9th inning. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Nope, can't come through. How about that 8th inning with the middle of the order coming up? Julio, Gino, Naylor than Gino, whatever. And again, 5 pitches and they're done and out of there. The offense did still score 5 runs, but the pitching, again, Mariners take the lead, pitching gives it right back. Mariners answer and tie it up, pitching gives it right back. There was some crap in this game, right? Simpson's blooper was frustrating. Then they walk Diaz and they give up the double to Caminero hit at 105. So, it goes back to kind of the Cleveland series, right? Like those hits will happen. I don't think I've ever seen the Mariners be fortunate enough to get one, but actually, yes, they did. They got one the 9th inning with JP. So I can't even whine properly. JP had a bloop in the 9th inning. You put yourself in position for those to hurt you, and it's just falling apart. Brian Wu was not great. He wasn't awful, but this bullpen is not good enough to cover that many innings. I don't love going to Caleb Ferguson in a tie game. I think Ferguson should be used right now in games where you're maybe, like the 9th inning today or the 8th inning, I guess, when you're down a run or 2. You come in and pitch in a situation like that against some lefties, fine. But that's also a part of the order where Caleb Ferguson should be able to get you through that, the bottom of the Rays order. He should be able to do it. Can't get it done because your star doesn't go deep enough. Maybe you should have left Wu in. Maybe you just say, you know what? Caminero hits the home run on a pretty good pitch. It was 95 in on his hands, turns on it. Maybe just leave Brian Wu in there and hope he gets through the 6th inning. I don't know, but the bullpen's just not deep enough right now. And then when you've got Spire giving up runs on top of it, it's certainly not going to come through. And on top of it, I always say this, right? Bad luck doesn't mean you're playing good, and good luck, and good luck doesn't mean you're playing poorly. But not only are the Mariners not playing good baseball, but just nothing, right? I mean, nothing really. You're just waiting for them to find a way to lose. Even in that 9th inning, I never really felt like, I perked up. I watched. I was like, oh, okay. Same with the 7th inning. Oh, okay, bases loaded. But never in the back of my mind did I really feel like they were going to come through. And they're just in that stretch right now. And unfortunately, it's probably going to cost them a postseason appearance. I don't even really want to get into the standings. Texas wins tonight. They're a half game back. Forget catching Houston. Well, you may need Houston to win next week against Texas. We might be rooting for the Astros next week to beat the Rangers. Rangers might win this division, honestly. Listen, they've had the great run differential all year, so maybe the baseball gods are finally just smiling on them. But to go 10-3 against them and have them pass you, that can't happen. If you go 10-3 against a team, that should bury them. And then, without Seager, Simeon, or Evaldi, they're finding a way right now. And the Mariners, with all their weapons, are just not. The pitching isn't good enough. The offense is scoring some runs, but it's also not enough, right? I feel like this team should win with 5 runs. If you told me before the game that Brian Wu would get 5, I would take it. But there's also opportunities they're leaving out there, like the Cal at bat, the Randy at bat, the other Cal at bat, other situations, even like in the seventh, even the Cole Young sac fly. I'm not against, hey, that at a baby, get that run in, high fives in the dugout all day, right? Like your goal is to get the run in. But where's the gapper? Where's the ball into the gap? Where's the double to break a game open? It's not there. Even when they're scoring, they get that 3 home runs an inning all solo. But again, please hit 3 home runs every inning. It'd be my pleasure to watch that. I'm not saying that's bad, but there's no 3-run home run. There's just no big moment. I really thought that Sunday win in Cleveland might spark them a little bit. It was a tough series in Cleveland. Maybe that win would kind of get them going, listen, it was tough, but we're 3 games up. We saved our season here. Let's go down to Tampa and a little TCB, take care of business, get this done. And nothing. I could care less that they couldn't care less, right? Could not care less that they had a team meeting before the game. That stuff's all fluff. Those things don't do anything. I mean, people will say, oh, yeah, see, they had that team meeting and sparked it. Yeah, because you played the Rockies 10 games in a row after a team meeting. Congrats. Like, you were going to win those games anyways. Not against teams doing it. Sometimes players need to sit down, have a conversation, and talk some things out. I'm not criticizing doing it, but I don't believe that those spark anything. Good to see Lou there at the game. That was cool. I know Lou lives in Tampa. Looks a lot different. That's not the Lou I remember seeing, but, obviously he's gotten older and everything. So, I don't know what else to say. I can harp again on Caleb Ferguson. I thought Luke Jackson looked really good. That's something. In the 8th inning, he looked really solid from his days of being a great small forward at Oregon, playing hoops. No, I know it's a different Luke Jackson. Anybody old enough to remember the Ridnour Luke Jackson Oregon days, and UW was like Brandon Roy and Conroy, Nate Robinson. Those were fun. I liked college. I followed the Pac-10 a lot more back then. Now I just watch March Madness. Let's talk more March Madness. Seahawks start on Sunday. Hey, maybe they'll beat San Francisco. That'll be fun. I've really got nothing else. I'm done seeing Caleb Ferguson, like I said, but I also maybe go to Spire there, but then maybe you're stuck later in the game too. It's the problem is the bullpen just not that deep. And I mean, how much do we even trust Brash and Munoz right now? I mean, I know a lot of you don't. I'm not criticizing. I'm with you. I mean, we can go pull up the comments from the Friday's game, and not a lot of people trust those guys either. And I'm totally with you. I'm just saying, who, right? I mean, Spire can't pitch 13 innings, and Spire gave up the lead, or that didn't give up the lead, but let them score 2 runs in a tie game. Again, one of them was a bloop, but you still gotta find a way somehow, right? I'd say it all the time. At the end of the year, if Texas passes you, you're not going to get a special certificate with a teddy bear on it that says, well, Simpson Babbitt to you in an at-bat. So here's this for you. So you got to find a way to get it done. I mean, Bizzardo did a nice job today, came in bases loaded, nobody out, only gives up the 1 run. Maybe you go Bizzardo there. Maybe you let Wu finish the 6th, go Bizzardo, Spire, and then Munoz. I mean, maybe that's what you can do there, but again, it's not like Brian Wu was that great today either. He did settle down after a tough couple first 2 innings and settled in nicely. And it looked like the Mariners might get a big W, but then Caminero, again, I mean, just a great hitter, turns on a ball inside. I mean, not much you can do with that, but unfortunately, it's just, we're out of time to tip caps. And it's happened so fast, and it's happening again, 2023. 2024. Ever since I've started doing videos, they seem to have a collapse at the end of the year. So maybe I'm the problem. We'll see. I mean, I honestly, if they don't get in this year, I'm going to be I can't keep. I mean, it's just tough. It is so hard to tell. In April, I can talk about tough losses because there's so much left in front of you. Doesn't mean that those games don't count, right? Pull out one of those games against the Giants and, you're in better position right now. So I don't want to claim that those games don't count. They absolutely do. But at least you can look ahead and go, listen, throw it away. We can bounce back. It's hard to do that right now. There's not a lot of throwaways left. It's crazy to think that somehow, some way, this team still would be in the playoffs, no matter what Texas does tonight, although it'll be very close, would still be in a playoff position if the season, if the season ended tonight, we would be going and watching postseason baseball and not feeling great about it. And, sometimes those teams you go in cold and sometimes you get hot in the playoffs. So you never know what's going to happen, which is why I want to see the team get in. I know a lot of people now, they're terrible on the road, and I'm no disagreement, but you never know when you get in. Things can happen. It's a 2 out of 3 series, so it doesn't take much to get hot for a couple games, win them, and then you're in a best of 5 where you're going to get a home game, and who knows? So absolutely want to still see this team get in, but I mean, it's just it looks like one of those tailspins, and you hope something clicks where they can pull out of it. Someone has that 2 home run game. I was hoping it was going to be, and Cal does hit a home run tonight. I should mention that he does hit number 51, but even that, like, I'm just awesome. Good for him. I hope he hits 60. I am rooting for it, but I want the Mariners to win. And in his 2 most crucial at bats, he did not deliver. He delivers in one of those at bats. It may have changed the trajectory of the season. It might, with 20 something games left, it might have a home run there off Kelly, grand slam, 8-4. You win this game. And I mean, you talk about high fives and handshakes after, and I'm coming out here going, listen, they pulled it out. It's been a little bit of a struggling road trip, but they're still in good position. Win the series tomorrow. You're going to go to Atlanta. You got to face 3 good pitchers. I know Strider's struggling, but it's not going to get easier. And I mean, I don't know what's going on with Josh Naylor. I don't know if he's hurt or something, but he has not looked good. I mean, to the point where I'd maybe even give him a day off tomorrow. I don't know. I think they're off Thursday as well, so maybe needs 2 days off. But he just those 8th inning at bats are awful. I mean, they did rally a little bit in the 9th inning, so that was good to see. But man, the 8th was terrible. I didn't mind Garver hitting for Cole Young. I think it was I think Garver is a higher upside, but also higher downside there. Garver more likely to hit into a double play, but also more likely to get into one there than Cole Young. Truthfully, I mean, in Garver's defense against a really good lefty in Clevenger, he pulls one foul that would have been a home run. It was way foul, but had the distance. Then he stings one to right field. I thought off the bat was in the gap, to be perfectly honest there. So, again, it's Randy and Cal, right? Like, Polanco draws a great walk. Rayleigh probably should have struck out, but draws the walk. JP bloops one in, fortunate, yes, but does it, gets the job done technically. And you turn it over to your big guns and they don't come through. Even Garver like stings the ball, but then Randy and Cal don't come through. Umpire was terrible, but I think it was pretty evenly distributed. Like I said, Rayleigh, that was strike 3 that Griffin Jacks threw him. I will say that one thing in Caleb Ferguson's defense, he did have a strike 3, I think, on Christopher Morel, who pinch hit. I hate on check swings when umps aren't really looking at the pitch and they're looking at the swing. And I think it was Manny Gonzalez behind home plate. Who cares? Checked down to first and was looking at the swing instead of like just looking where the ball landed. Ferguson did have that strikeout, I will say, but that doesn't. He still hit a guy with a strike. I mean, it still wasn't a good appearance. And he walks, I don't even remember who he walked after that, but like, it still wasn't good, but he was, did get kind of a short end of the stick on that. I did want to mention that because I think it is fair to bring it up. I don't know. Let's check the Texas score. Like I said, I'm going to probably start doing lives soon because is this today's game? I think that was yesterday's games. I don't even have MLB.com up to date here. 2-0 Texas, of course. So yeah, they're going to sweep Arizona. If you get swept, you're out of a playoff spot tomorrow. I mean, can't say it's not deserved if it happens. I mean, Mariners only have themselves to blame. I mean, since that road trip, the 2-7 road trip, you went 2-7, obviously 4-2 on the homestand. And I'm sorry, this has become like a Dear Diary video more than a game breakdown, but that would mean 4-2, 2-7 is 6-9. Then you lost the first 2, 6-11, 7-13 since then. I mean, if you go 10-10, how many times have I come on here and said I don't like to toot my own horn because I'm wrong about a lot of things. But I talked about like that road trip and go 500. If they would have gone 10-10, which is not great, it's 500 ball since that road trip, they would be 3 games up and I think would still be pretty much locked in. But instead, they've crapped the bed and played like garbage instead. They can never just be normal. They can't just, and they're either the best team in the league or I'm scared to death of the Rockies series. And honestly, if they fall out of the playoff spot, like of course I'm still rooting for them. Of course I still want them to get in. It's going to be tough. Like now they're chasing teams. Come on. Like, and the AL is so weak this year. And listen, you can't control other teams, right? Texas is, I mean, you got Dylan Moore going like 10 for 15 since going over there. Like, you can't control what other teams do, right? Texas is red hot, somehow without their three best players. That's frustrating, but you can't control that. What you can't control is that 7-13. Even if it was 9-11, you would be 2 games better. You would be 3.5 up right now, and pending Texas 2.5 up. Still a pretty decent little margin, to hold on to with the tiebreaker. And that tiebreaker not going to matter. Like I said, what we should be hoping for next week is Texas to take care of Houston and win the division. Houston better win those dang games for you. If whatever. Hopefully they win tomorrow. I'm still rooting for them. I'm still pulling. I still want them in. I will never, ever be the guy that's like, screw it, I don't want them to go. Like, I don't get that mentality. Like, I want them in, because if you get into the dance, you got a shot. As always, the Rangers were actually pretty cold when they went in 2023. They actually had a big lead and fell out, got hot, won a World Series. This team does get hot at times. So if they can get in, they could get a hot streak. My faith in them getting in is about negative 1,000 right now, but I still want to see it. Still want to have the opportunity. We don't see a lot of playoff games, so I still want to see it, but it's just tough it's tough to picture it right now. Man, it's frustrating. It is so frustrating. And not like Tampa's back in this thing, too. Just let everybody. They're going to let the White Sox back in the race all of a sudden. Rockies are going to come in a game and a half behind the Mariners when it's all said and done. Yes, I know Rockies are a different league. I'm just having some fun. Take care, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Go Mariners. Peace.